so grateful. And so without further ado, we'll call up Mayor Miller.
Well, thank you, Jamie, and thank everybody for being here today. And first of all, it takes a team effort. So although I get to be the person out front, truly we have a great team behind us. And I think when I was coming back from Columbus today, and we had a great day in Columbus yesterday and today, discussing economic development, discussing common problems that our community shares. It's not unique. See, trash problems are not unique to Macon County. Crime is not unique to Macon County. The pandemic certainly is not unique to Macon County. But when I came back in and got out the exit, looking at all the beautification we had, looking at Middle Georgia State University, which just pops. I mean, I know all of you rode by there, but every time I go by there now, it just pops. I mean, those signs pop. That Missing Hill, you can see the school, that $3 or $4 million, investment right there as you go in. That's the start of something real. So I'm glad. As a matter of fact, when I was running for office, I came to this group and let them know in the beginning that this is my area, this is my home, and you're going to see me involved in it in a big way. And we have been involved in it. So I'm very excited. I can tell you within 1 hour of this press conference, our phones are ringing off the hook. I'm not going to speak for John and them with the mall, but our phones are ringing off the hook. I spoke to several realtors around the area, and their phones were ringing off the hook too, with people excited about it. They were just waiting on somebody to make a commitment to the area before they stepped in. And I told many people that day, if you're not getting property around the mall, you're going to be late. Because this is where it's going to be happening at too. We got enough people, what, 22 million people they said come down this interstate? That's a lot of people. So we have to decide whether we want them to go buy, like you said, or come off and buy something and stay a while. I think the mall theory itself and the revitalization is going to be something that's going to help this entire area. So let's talk about the mall a little bit. I know people are interested about that. It's going to be a multifaceted venue. Number one, you're going to have government offices. So what's one way to get people excited about making some money and their business flourishing? To make sure you have some foot traffic there, right? Make sure people are going to be there on a regular basis. If you drive by the mall and you don't see much there, you don't think much about it. But when you have 400 or 500 workers that's going to be working in there from the Bibb County government and their directors and offices, that's people there on a regular day who need to go eat, need to go shop, need to buy gas, maybe live closer to their environment, visit them, or they go to lunch somewhere. That's good news. Well, our vision is to have government offices, including a representation from Middle Georgia State University and Central Georgia Technical College. And we believe is going to be strong there. We want to have a presence that's probably about 25% of the mall. Then we're going to have a large retail section in the mall that we know is going to be very diverse. It's going to be a good quality retail traffic there. And we're already starting to see calls from there, and we're going to set up a process for that. And then we're going to have sports. I think I'm very excited about the potential of having pickleball there if we can work out some issues there with the building. We've met with people who can bring in 500 to 1,000 people for over several days, multiple times per year. That's people coming in, spending money. That's foot traffic. That's people staying in hotels, people eating, people shopping. Those are great things. We've been talking to the film industry, and I know we're going to be revealing some information on that pretty soon. Also, Marvel contacted wanted to do a shooting inside the mall already. Other film people have asked about coming to this location to do some things. So you're between two interstates, I-75, I-475. Looking ahead several months ago, I went and sat down in Atlanta with the commissioner of Georgia Department of Transportation. And I pitched this idea to him. And I said, listen, we got great things coming to South Bibb County. He said, you mean, I said, yes, Eisenhower corridor out there. And I said, and I told him everything we plan to do. And we reallocated some funds because we want to have from the mall that way a little bit and some this way. We want to have sidewalks and make it more walkable and also slow the traffic down a little bit in that area there. So we worked on that, and we reallocated some funds on what we wanted to do there to make sure that we can make that connection. Because I think we're gonna engage all those properties around the mall, whether it's the old auto place, the river. We've been talking to the river keepers people. Believe it or not, there's fish on there. I've been looking in there every day, and we need to clean that area up, and we need to make that beautiful. And that could be a target going right through this area over here. And we don't think about that when we drive over the bridge. It's got a water resource there that we can improve upon. So let's get down toward the end of the mall. The idea about this amphitheater. Amphitheater, right now, Macon-Bibb County has the auditorium. It seats about 2,000 people. Everybody's familiar with that ad. We're about to do several $1 million worth of investment there. You get to the next level, when you get to the Centerplex and the Coliseum there, you can get about 6,500 for a venue there. I thought it was more, 6,500. So having this 10,001, will be 10,001 amphitheater out there, capacity-wise, gives us that extra effort that we need, that extra level. So we're not competing with ourselves, right? So we get to add that too. So people want to talk about, you do a feasibility study. What do you do a feasibility study for? When you're looking at a piece of property, you're thinking about buying that property and what you can put on there. We don't have to worry about that with the mall. We got the property. All we have to do is see what we can drop into the area that we want to put it at. Feasibility study, do you want it or not? That's what's feasible to me. Why pay a bunch of consultants money to tell you what you already know that you want to do out there? So all that's hogwash. That's people who just want to be naysayers, like Commissioner Tillman says. Think about 10,000 people there. Think about just outside there's a couple more businesses where you can buy food and retail and beverages. They call it Battery Parking Lot. I call it Macon and Macon, where people can come together there right outside the mall to come to a venue where you have a huge stage, that you have 2,000, 2,500 seats that are covered, permanent seating. Then you have a huge lawn that can fit up to 6,000 people in there. And then you have some VIP and skyboxes. Don't you know, we already have people asking how much are skyboxes? Can we go ahead and buy one? How much is it going to cost to sponsor this amphitheater if we wanted it named after our company? At least 3 to 4 people. We're talking $250,000, $500,000 already. This is what's exciting. We've already got people engaged on what kind of venue, how soon you're going to have this up. Can we get on your schedule for 2023? Can we get on there for 2024? These are people that's going to be coming to Macon on a regular basis. And I've seen some people say, well, you know, it's just a concert hall outdoors. You're going to occasionally have something there. That's not true. You can do film there. You can do a gospel on Wednesday. You can do a jazz festival for 4 solid months on a Thursday. You can have events on Fridays and Saturdays. It can be used multiple times a week. It's not just people here in Macon. We're attracting people outside of Macon to come here that pay money and that shop and that may stay overnight here. We know that they will. Instead of driving all the way to Atlanta and having to spend $700 there for a hotel room and the travel and all that, they can go right here to Middle Georgia. And I think it's going to be a destination place. So security, people want to talk about security.
I don't know, it's certain.
Foot traffic and people that actually go to a place make you more secure, not just the opposite. Some people think the more people you got, the more problems you're going to have. That's not true. You get to a desolate place, what does a person who's going to commit a crime do? They're going to be more likely to go snatch that purse when there's one person walking out there by themselves in a not lit area. You think about having thousands of people there with security all around, you're not going to have those crime issues. One thing we're definitely going to do is going to make sure this area is the most secure place in all of Bibb County. Because we're going to invest in cameras, we're going to invest in lighting, and we're going to invest in security. We have to do that with this type of venue. We've also got some other technology that's coming that we've been talking about at our commission meeting that's going to make this a safe place to live right off the interstate. Certainly, we're not going to invite 10,000 of our best friends to come to a concert and not provide the security that's needed. So those people who talk negative about this part of our community, about safety, those are the same people who still go to other venues in Macon that had 3 shootings in 8 months, you know, and where 3 people died. It's just a mentality. The folks who talk about how dangerous this area is, or how someone's U-Haul got stolen, that wasn't even this side of town. We have to get rid of that stigma, but the only way to do it is to do exactly what EBID is doing, is saying, we're going to put this behind us, we're going to do what we think is best, and we're going to improve this area. So I know that we have $100 million of private investment, counting the mall itself, the bond that we're doing for the amphitheater, and we're going to break ground soon. As a matter of fact, I'm going back to my office today. I'm going to review the RFP. We're doing an architect and build or RFQ for the architect, and I'm going to approve it today and tomorrow to go ahead and post that, because we're going to break ground in February of next year. I know it's going to work. I feel confident that we're in the right location. Already downtown, when we have events at the Centerplex, We may have an event there that can hold 6,500 people, but guess what? We may get a call and say, can we have the GSSA wrestling tournament there? Or if we have this sporting event or that sporting event, and we've already got a group built. So we're losing out on all that money and all that traffic. Now we got a location, we can bring them over here, fill up that amphitheater and still do a sporting event downtown to make money, to have people travel for hotels, for shopping. No, you're not gonna go back to 1974 where you have 5,000 different retails there. But I can tell you from the people we're talking to now, as little as 1,500 people I talked to who wants to open up a call center in this area that pays $20 an hour. You're talking about good paying jobs they're making. You're talking about people who want to live near where they work. A lot of traveling going on there. That's a real possibility. So I'm looking forward to what the mall is going to bring. This is something I'm not going to let grass grow under my feet any longer. We're going to move forward with this very, very fast. As a matter of fact, the bonds for this project will be done in about 60 days. And I told people the other day, and I want you to understand where we're coming from this in case you hear it. Not one additional tax dollar from somebody's property tax will have to come to this project. Our plan is this property is going directly to the Urban Development Authority, one of our authorities. They will own the property there. They will collect rents that we bring into the mall. Matter of fact, 4 or 5 of these people I'm telling you we're already going to bring to the mall that are government. Board of Elections is one of those. Think about Board of Elections, how many thousands of people go to vote every time we go to vote at the Board of Elections, how they could go to Macon. That's going to be traffic there as well. But you think about it, right now we're paying someone else that rent that we don't own. 3 of these other ones, we pay rent downtown and other places in buildings that we don't own. We're using your tax dollars to pay them rent somewhere else. So why not just pay ourselves? So we'll pay rent into the Urban Development Authority, which is just paying ourselves, and it'll in return pay these bonds for this amphitheater. So there's no additional tax dollars that you have going in. It's simply the rent rolls and the profit that we have from the mall going into there. And the way to fill the mall up and make sure people there is to provide foot traffic and opportunity. And we can do that by putting our own people there first. And others will come, and we've already started. As a matter of fact, I'm confident that there's not going to be a space left in that mall in the next 12 months. I'm very confident. We can fill it up tomorrow, but we want to make sure we have the right fit there and make sure we have a diverse group of folks there. The calls are just coming in. So I know I've talked a lot, but this is a very exciting project. I think this is a once in a lifetime chance to give this area a second chance. And I'm excited about what's going to happen. We're going to be the poster child for this project all across the United States. As a matter of fact, John, I was speaking with your compadre over in Augusta today, Mr. Hardy, who was also talking about the Regency Mall and how it's fallen in and how bad it is there, and maybe some new ideas they're going to have, talking with that owner to see if they can do something similar to reimagine what we can do with these malls. So I think it's going to be a win-win for Macon. I'm very excited about it. We know that tax digest, the next time we have to come here and redo this, it's probably going to be up 175 million, 200 million. It's going to be. So, I'll answer any questions anybody has today, whether you're at home or here today. Some things I can't tell you. I wish I could, but I mean, we've had to keep this a secret for what, 1.5 years now, and it's been very tough to do when people start taking shots about you not doing anything here. And like I said the other day, is we care about all Macon. Don't get me wrong, I love downtown. It's the heartbeat of Macon. And the tax digest has jumped up tremendously to help all of our county. But we can do things for other parts of the community. I've got something big coming in East Macon as well. But we wanted to start right here because I think this is the best chance we have to really jumpstart our community. But I'll answer any questions that you have. If not, I'll sit down and be quiet to finish your meeting. No questions. All right, you guys, easy. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much, Mayor Miller and Commissioner Tillman. I am so excited. I was very pleasantly surprised that he made it in person. Our original plan was via Zoom, and that is just how much he cares, how much Commissioner Tillman cared that they are here to be present, to present to you. I really think that what we have done here in the Eisenhower corridor has really set us up and positioned ourselves for opportunities just as this one. Okay, so we're going to have redevelopment